Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the team that I used to complete variant number 2 at 100% using very few resources and no units. I got pretty lucky with my team here with a Sentinel R1 6-star, which I got just before the event, a Captain America R4 at low sig but still very useful, a Void R5, a Angela R4, and a Hulk at R4. Now, I'm not saying this is the best team out there. There's lots of good champs. Hyperion, Venom, King Groot I hear is pretty good. Domino's still good. She just does so much damage. But this was the team for me. And this video is going to kind of showcase some fights with these particular characters and why I chose them to take on variant number 2. And maybe this will help you create your team, giving you some ideas on who to use or who not to use. And like I said, I won't be showcasing any full fights here, just kind of inserts from each for each character. I'll show some full fight solos later on this week. So let's get started. Okay, so the first MVP of Variant 2 would have to be my R4 Green Hulk. I ranked him a very long time ago before a lot of the newer champs were out. I've never regretted it. He's been a rock star for me, and he's very good in Variant 2. And the reason he's so good in Variant 2 is he's an extra large champ. Extra large champs get special abilities. He gets an unblockable attack every 10 hits on his combo meter. His buff duration is increased by 25%. Hulk also gets Fury and Unstoppable buffs after using any special attack on certain nodes. So he's pretty impressive, and besides that, he's poison immune, he has a great stun, he has a nice fury, and if you happen to die with him, and you can bring him in with a 40% revive or even a 20% revive, and the lower the health he is, the harder he hits. That's if you're duped, of course. So you don't have to heal him up to full to make him actually pretty tough. So he's just a great choice, and he just rips through a lot of these opponents. The Yellow Jacket in the end, the main boss, as you see here, I barely have any health, and I basically take out this Yellow Jacket with 5 or 6% health. I like to push him to SP2, and the stun can do that very easily. He's just a great all-around champ, and like I said, having low health can really help. Now, there's other extra large champs that are very useful in this event. You got Venom, Venompool, Venom the Duck, and Thing. They have some buffs that trigger twice for their special ability. You got Groot, and King Groot has some 30% regeneration buffs. If you happen to have a Thanos or Dormammu, they get Unstoppable, Indestructible on heavy attacks, and they do some power burn. Hulkbuster, MODOK, Sentinel get some armor ups, some force fields, some additional energy damage on their attacks. Kingpin and Joe Fixit, they gain a permanent buff at random. And there's more extra large champs. You can take a look at your roster and check them out in Variant 2 and see what they can do. You don't always have to be R4 or R5. I hear R3 can do a pretty good job as well. They're just longer fights. But like I said, Hulk, he's a superstar in this particular quest. I used him in a lot of fights. And if I had to revive, it was him because he does so much extra damage, and that stun is so nice. He's just a very impressive champ for this particular event, so he was definitely one of the main stars. So the next star of the Variant 2 for me happened to be Sentinel. He's a 6-star version, unduped. I was lucky to pull him just before the event, and I could not be more happy with Sentinel. I'm even considering bringing him up to R2. He's just so much fun if I ever get the resources. What's not to love with the guy? He's heal block, he's got armor break, he's got incineration. He doesn't really have any buffs himself, so he doesn't cause any problems on spike nodes like you see here with this Korg. He took out Korg for me, 100%. It's a solo fight, and I'll post that fight down below in the description. You can check it out or click the link above. You know, he's just a really good champ. He was very good against the mutants. He is unduped, so you have to hit a lot of the block when you go against the mutants to bring up his charges. Obviously, if you have a duped Sentinel, it's even better. He also gets some of the bonuses in the extra large champ category. So Yeah, he's a great champ. A little low in the health, but just because he's only an R1. But you know, he does the job. He's kind of a tank, and I'm really impressed with his character. I never had him before this event, and he's been very useful. And here he is against the Domino. Like I said, there's the incineration damage. You can see that energy ticking down. Again, he has no real buffs, so he's not causing anything on spite nodes. He's immune to bleed, he's immune to poison, which is very nice. You gotta remember that. This one here was a kind of a tricky one because this Sinister here was on a regeneration node, but it's hard to actually stop his regeneration with champs like Void. You can't reverse regeneration, so I brought in Sentinel to just block the regeneration. So a little bit of a long fight, but the heal block was key here. And since he's a mutant, once you get to 100 charges, Sentinel does a whole bunch of more abilities against mutants, which is very nice. So yeah, he was a great addition to the team. So if you have a 5-star or a 6-star, or you know, you'll do pretty good with Sentinel on your team. He's very, very useful. He's a little bit bulky and sometimes a little bit weird to play, but you get used to him. I'm just really spamming the heal blocks here because of the regeneration. See, every time you hit a critical attack on Sinister, he actually regenerates as well. But he actually doesn't regenerate when he has a heal block, so it's pretty good. You just can't reverse heal block him here in this particular node. So yeah, that is Sentinel. Second on the team I really enjoyed. Now the third is Captain America Infinity War. Duped. Duped is really important for this. Now he's a medium-sized champ, so he'll take glancing damage for any attack except for heavies and intercepting. So the good thing about Captain America Infinity War is his heavy attack is really, really good. And when he's duped, he has some very nice leadership abilities. In this particular one, I have a Cosmic champ on my team and a Tech champ on my team. So I'm getting armor breaks from the Cosmic, and I'm getting Pacify from the Tech, which is very, very useful here, because this particular Killmonger has Power Flood, and he also has Regeneration, so that Pacify is kind of keeping it in check. So all I'm doing is doing heavy attacks. Same thing here with Emma. Again, the Cosmic can cause armor break, so I'm just doing heavy attacks. Parry or Perfect Blood will cause an armor break. And this is a very low SIG Captain America. I think he was like 20 or 21 at the time when I was in here in Variant. I mean, the fights aren't that exciting. You know, you're just doing heavy attacks and doing special 3s, but they work, and that's the key. You know, you want to get in there and finish them off. Also, he has very, very nice block, so he can take a lot of beating from block damage. He's a great champ. This is an R4. I'd love to have him at R5. I actually wish he was R5, my Void was R4, but you know, what can you do? Again, here's a Doctor Strange. He hit me with several SP2s, and I didn't take very much damage. He was really great against the champion. Again, just heavies, and when you have the kinetic energy up, you can actually get rid of his unstoppable. As you see right here, it's gone, as long as you have a kinetic charge up. But I really found it important that you have the Cosmic and Tech synergies at least on your team for that Pacify. It wouldn't be a bad idea to put some points in the Pacify as well. Now, the next champ we brought in was Void. Void, his heavy attack, he can only do the heavy attack and intercept one of the specials, or intercept one special attacks, or just regular attacks, I mean. You know, you wouldn't think he's that great because his heavy attack isn't that impressive, but there is a lot of lines in Variant 2 that focus on champs regenerating. So basically you're just going in and you're going to reverse regenerate all these champs that have this. Here's a particular example here. The next one here. And another reason for Void is you can reverse power gain as well. So this is a boss in one of the in one of the actual end of the fights. This particular Magneto has a lot of power gain. I don't really like avoiding his SP2, so I was just kind of running around and waiting for my power gain and regeneration debuff to start coming into effect, and he doesn't gain much power. Made the fight very easy, just heavy attacks and doing my SP1. So yeah, there's several fights, especially on regeneration, where Void is very useful. Just doing your heavy attacks, letting your debuffs get on him, using your special one. Again, here we go. This particular Green Goblin was regenerating like crazy. I have my debuffs on him to reverse regeneration. I'm not even touching him, and look how fast he's dying. It happens so many times in the fight. Now lastly, we have Angela. There's 3 reasons I brought her in. 1, she has a nice heavy attack. It does a lot of critical damage a lot of the times. 2, I really wanted her for the synergy for Captain America to get that armor break and their leadership ability. And 3, I just wanted her for Havoc. All I did was heavy attacks here. I'm not going to show the whole fight. It's very boring. But I just kept on spamming my heavy attacks. I soloed Havoc, and the armor buff that I have will protect me from his detonation. So there you have it, guys, just a little view of what I used. I'll show some more of the longer fights later on. Of course, I brought in a couple champs on certain lines that aren't in this list, but this was the team I used for like 95% of Variant 2. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll talk to you soon.
Target identified. Analysis complete. Please subscribe.